Welcome back to Reading Bear. Today, we will take a look at some new I Don't Work Here Lady stories. And if you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comments. Let's go!
The first story is titled, Woman Berates Me at 3 a.m. for Not Doing My Job. So I was working at a supermarket doing night fill stocking shelves after hours. One night we ran super late as we were short-staffed. I didn't finish till about 2:30 a.m. After I left, the only place open for food was a 24/7 fuel station across the road that had a Subway. So I said hi to the staff, I was a regular, and got my sub and put in my headphones while I ate. I was just kinda zoning out as I had just finished a 9 hours shift, so I was a little slow. A woman came in and went up to the fuel counter. The server was not there. 3 a.m. they have a bunch of other jobs to do out back, and they have a buzzer on the counter. So she's obviously seen me and moves closer. I'm oblivious listening to my audiobook. I look up when she's towering over me. Glaring. She says something. I take my headphones out. Me, sorry. Her, I don't mean to interrupt you. Me, okay? Now she's glaring full force. Her, I need you to do your job. I don't care if you're on break. Me, what? Still foggy. Her, I need you to get off your ass and do your job. She screams. Finally I get what's going on. I lean back and point to my shirt logo. Me, I don't work here. I'm from the supermarket across the road. Her, don't give me that bullcrap. I'm in a hurry now, do your job. By now the server has come back to check on the noise. Server, hey, my name, everything okay? Me, ask her. She does an actual double take. She goes a bit red but rallies herself and glares at me again. She pays for her stuff and then in a loud as hell stage whisper says, what's he doing here at this time of night? Suspicious if you ask me. Then she leaves. The server shakes his head and we laugh it off. But the best part is a few weeks later. Same scenario at the same petrol place. I'm eating but more alert. She comes in, sees me eating and goes red. Me, hey, server, that crazy woman is back. I then nod at her. Me, can I help you with anything, ma'am? I don't work here but I know how upset you get with the truth, so maybe I can pretend? Do some role play? If that would help. The server comes out, she buys some gum and leaves never saying a word, her face bright red. The next story is titled, I Am Not Your Personal Shopper. This happened a few years back in my local Tesco. Cast, me old lady, lovely, and my savior, miserable old trout pensioner Karen. MOT. So, at the time I was working early shifts, meaning I got off at about 2 p.m. This day I needed some stuff, so stopped on the way home. As I was trundling round with my basket, I kept bumping into the same old lady, as you do sometimes, and we exchanged hellos and hello agains, etc., just nice normal interaction. There were a couple of items she couldn't reach, so she asked if I wouldn't mind getting them down for her from various shelves. Me, no problem, here. Oh, thank you so much, I always worry about those shelves. Me, happy to help. So eventually we just ended up going our separate ways and I carried on shopping. Then the came. MOT, finally, I thought you'd ignore me forever. Me, pardon. MOT, ready to actually do your work now? Me, Slowly dawning realization. MOT, right, I need you to get these things, I'm too tired. Me, right, okay, so, I don't actually work here. MOT, what? Yes you do, you've been helping her for the last 15 minutes. Me, gesturing to my basket and pointing to the logo of the company I actually work for on my polo shirt. Nope, sorry, I'm just shopping here. MOT, well it doesn't matter boy, I was 25-ish at the time, you can still help me. Me, getting pissed off, no. I'm going to finish my shopping actually, so. MOT, no. You've been her personal shopper for the last 15 minutes and now you're going to do it for me. Me, good luck with that, I'm not yours or anyone's personal shopper. I actually would have happily got the higher items if there were any, and she'd asked as nicely as the but I hate entitled people and I hate entitled rude people even more, which just made me more determined she wouldn't get her way. With that I begin to walk away, but am swiftly dragged back by MOT. MOT, how dare you? You will do this. Enter original who evidently has seen what's happened. "Oh, what do you think you're doing? That young man has been so helpful and you're treating him like rubbish." This intervention by Ol stopped MOT in her tracks. Ol then whacks MOT with her handbag and proceeds to give her a dressing down in front of the crowd which has gathered. I'm just watching this play out in front of me, not knowing what to do. TBH, I was just glad it was Ol who went for her rather than me having to get rid of MOT. Ol, you can clearly see his own shopping, you can clearly see the shirt he's wearing. MOT, but me, see, I don't work here, and I was helping this lady get the higher items she couldn't reach. MOT, blustering and stammering. Me, if you need help in future I might ask you to show some manners and common courtesy rather than acting entitled and spoilt. Ol, exactly. Following this, the store management turned up and after a brief explanation from us sent MOT on her way empty-handed after she huffed about customer service for a few minutes. Never saw MOT again though, which was a proper bonus. Ever thankful for Ol intervention though. There's no way I was going to help MOT out, but Ol made it significantly easier to ensure MOT got what was coming to her. The next story is titled, I'm Here for the Same Reason You Are. Happened a week ago, and still confused. Nothing crazy or anything. I was enjoying my day off work by going to my favorite Thai place for dinner. In this city there's a mask requirement but a lot of the surrounding towns don't have any requirements. As I was leaving I still had my mask on and had just gotten out the door when a couple showed up asking if I worked there. When I told them no they visibly became confused and asked why I didn't if I was wearing a mask, and why I was there. I said because of mask requirements, and because I also wanted dinner. They then told me they didn't have any masks and asked me to go inside and get their pick-up order for them if they couldn't go in without a mask. Laughed, told them no, and kept walking. Could clearly hear them calling me a lazy idiot as I walked away. People are strange. The next story is titled, The Lady Who Burned My Face Over Change. So I am a 23-year-old man with Asperger's who works in a fun fair that travels around. For context, every ride is owned and maintained by a different person, no one entity owns all the rides like Disneyland, we are all just independent businesses built around entertaining the public. My story takes place when I was 20, I was in charge of maintaining and running what we call a funhouse, which is basically just an obstacle course for kids. I'm serving customers when this lady, L, in a blue tank top and ugly crimson ponytail barges in the queue asking if I can swap her £10 note for coins for some other ride. This is a common request, but my parents own the funhouse and gave me instructions not to exchange notes for coins unless they are going inside the funhouse. I explained to Elle that I can't do that unless she and her family, there were 2 gross-looking kids with her, were going on the funhouse. Why not? She grunts at me like a bulldog, because I'm not allowed to give change so customers can go on other rides. Yes you do, you idiot. She screams at a volume that could deafen a brick as she storms off on a huff. I just get back to work as I've learned to deal with such nice people by thinking about jokes, having a chuckle and continuing. Hours later, I am on a break as my mother lets me go for dinner. I stop by one of those roadside cafes we have on the fairground we were settled at and I get my favorite, chicken strips, chips and curry, topped off with a cup of piping hot chocolate. I distinctly remember being excited to have this artery-slaying meal plump with grease and frying oil made by my lovely auntie. I give my auntie some spare change I had, but then the tank top lady storms over to me. Why are you giving change to her? She bellows at me like a for real crazy person. Not remembering her I just reply with, excuse me. You said you couldn't give me money and you're spending it on this crap, and with that, she slaps my meal out of my hand and hits the hand holding my scalding hot chocolate up into my face. I cannot possibly find the words to explain the pain of having something that hot hitting me directly in the face. I screamed and cried for help as this lady continues to assault me by spitting on me and yelling more obscenities at me. My dad saw what happened and ran to us and punched that psycho in the face before calling an ambulance for me. Everything past my dad punching Elle is blurry. We eventually went to court for assaulting me. The burns fused one of my eyes shut and left nasty marks on the left half of my face. I had to get reconstructive surgery to even resemble the man I once was, but I still find it hard to look in a mirror. My dad got into trouble for punching the lady, but it wasn't as bad as what Elle got. Elle was to pay a lot of money to me which I used to get a gaming PC and had to spend more than a few nights in prison. She actually tried to justify boiling my face with, he works for the circus, so he would have gotten paid his salary anyway. We don't have salaries, we take all the money we make in the day, divide it up based on fuel for the generators, rent for the land we stay on and repairs, we keep what's left which is rarely much, and FYI, we are not a circus. In case you are wondering, I'm a lot happier now. I still have a face that could make a blind man cry, but I feel better knowing she got what she paid for. It just makes me cry sometimes knowing that she did this all because she thought that she could treat fun fair workers like crap. The next story is titled, Spent 15 minutes at the receiving end of an enraged passenger of an airline I did not work for. So this happened a few years ago, while I was still working at the airport. As a backstory, I didn't directly work for any airline. I worked for a ground handling company that managed the ground services for quite a few airlines at the airport where I worked. Only the main airline of our country has its own customer service staff, and they are easily recognized as they wear the same uniform as the staff in cabin. The rest of us were often ambushed by passengers of airlines we knew nothing about, but we were used to it and kindly directed them to the right people, or sometimes were even able to answer them, for example if they asked for the gate or where the check-in counters are. So anyways, it's the afternoon rush during summer holidays and we are about halfway done with check-in for Airline X. The flight is full and it's one of those airlines that flies everywhere, so the passengers are also from everywhere with various amounts of luggage and several different types of travel documents. Check-in is usually slow and agonizing. Then and all of a sudden, I am dealing with a lady that has apparently missed her flight. I sit at the counter at the far end as I have also been assigned to go to the gate after check-in has calmed down a bit. I see this lady coming from the corner of my eye, but at first, I assume she is just coming to use the scale meant for passengers. I call the next family to my desk, keeping an eye on the clock and the ETA of the aircraft. Just as I greet the family and take their passports, this lady stomps to my desk and says, "Excuse me." I give her a quick smile and say, "I'm sorry, the end of the line is that way," as I now think she's one of our passengers. No. I'm flying to less than enter city greater than with airline Y. Okay. I need you to check me in. My flight is leaving in 30 minutes. Oh, I'm so sorry, but I don't work for that airline. All this while still trying to provide service to the family in front of me. Thankfully they seem understanding. Well, call the people who do. Where is their staff? They can't just leave their desks empty. If your flight leaves in 30 minutes, that means the check-in is probably closed. They have a ticket desk downstairs, it might still be open. I knew the airline closes 45 minutes before departure. This wasn't the first time we had to tell Airline Y's passengers about this, but usually they accepted their fate after hearing we don't work for them. Fart. But I have to get on that flight. Call someone. Call someone right now. I am so sorry, ma'am, but my priority is this queue right here and I don't work for the company that handles your airline. I honestly would not even know who to call. And also, I know it wouldn't help, so there is no way I will stop checking in my passengers by calling the supervisor of a different company about a late passenger. You take my bag then, she screams and literally just dumps her bag on my belt that is moving because I just sent the family's 2 bags forward. I manage to grab it before it disappears without a tag, and it's so heavy I nearly tip over in my heels as I drag it back to the scale. Ma'am, I can't send your bag forward without a tag. Tag it then. I can't, as I have said, I don't work for Airline Y, I have no access to their system, nor do I know if they even take last-minute bags. It's the same belt. Their check-in is right there. You all use the same computers. Just take my bag or I want to talk to your manager. At this point she is loud enough that my colleague at the next desk is calling security and she attracts the attention of my check-in supervisor. I send the family at my desk on their merry way. They thank me and wish me good luck, but I can't call in the next customer as this lady is now in front of my desk, pointing at me and accusing me of bad service and screaming how she has to be on the flight and how I was just stuck up and high on power. I open the app on our computers that allowed us to see the boarding status of all flights, basically the same screen passengers see on the monitors but with timestamps, and quietly interrupt her screaming by saying, "They have had final call on the board for 10 minutes. I don't think you'd even make it." The line to the security is at least 15 minutes, and even if she managed to elbow her way through it, the gate is at the other end of the airport, and she'd have to clear passport control as well. "You know that, but you can't check me in," she then screams. My supervisor is now actually on the phone with the company that handles Airline Y and tells the lady once she has hung up that yeah, they close 45 minutes before departure, and now we have to listen to the lady absolutely lose her crap about how no one told her and she will sue all of us. By now, the aircraft's status has changed to approaching, which means that since the check-in is by some miracle winding down, I'm supposed to close my desk and go help the rest of the gate staff prep for deboarding and boarding. I look at my supervisor, who promptly tells the colleague who called security close up and go in my stead as the lady is not done. When she sees security arriving, she blows up to an actual tantrum like a 5-year-old, stomping her foot and slapping my desk, even kicking her luggage as if trying to force it to the back belt. We let the security escort her a little further away, but she is still yelling at me and my supervisor how Airline X and Y both suck and how we should be ashamed of ourselves for not helping her and how she works in tourism and knows how all of this works, and of course, she also knew the CEO of our company and we'd be fired within a week. I couldn't resist calling out, "Our manager doesn't work for Airline Y either," which caused my supervisor to go, "Hush," but she was barely not laughing and I didn't receive any reprimands. I checked in a couple of more passengers before I hurried to the gate where deboarding has just finished. I also see Airline Y pushing back from its gate, right on schedule. The next story is titled, "A lot of people out there wear high-visibility clothing lady." About once a year or so I find myself in an "I don't work here" moment. One of the most common is at the gas station. You see, I wear an orange construction vest, or orange high-vis jacket or shirt daily, so sometimes at the gas station, or near the cart corral at the grocery store I get approached by other patrons. This time involves me filling my truck at a self-serve gas station, and a boss Karen, or BK, who is trying to get her card to work at another pump, and the employee at the station, or EMP. I stopped for gas like I do each Friday afternoon. I was in my work attire, which this day consisted of my high-vis jacket with my company logo on it. I was filling my tank and daydreaming about the things that I had to do when I got home. Off behind me somewhere I heard someone at another pump having a heck of a time with the credit card reader. I figured they would have to press the call button on the pump, and the store attendant would handle it. I thought nothing of it and went back to daydreaming. A few seconds later I get a tap on my shoulder. "BK, excuse me. Why are you not paying attention to me? I'm having a hell of a time trying to get this card reader to work. Come, I'll show you." Me, I don't. "BK, you can finish filling this truck after you help me." Me, I don't work here lady. I'm just filling up before I go home. "BK, that's a load of crap, you can't refuse to help me because your shift is ending." Me, no, I don't work here at all. I think that's solved it as she leaves, and I start filling my truck again. Next thing I know, she's back, and she's called the number on the pump. BK, whispering to me, "You're ducked now." BK, to person on the phone, "I'm here trying to fill my tank, and your employee is ignoring me, and making up excuses when I try to ask him for help. The pump won't take my card, and your employee is being totally uncooperative, and has all but ignored me the whole time I've been here." BK, on the phone, "He's not wearing one." To me, "He wants to know your name?" Me, "My name is me." BK, on the phone, "But he's wearing one of your vests." My jacket has my construction company's name on it, and BK came up from behind, where the logo is much larger. BK, on the phone, "Well, this man is impersonating one of your employees, what do you intend to do about it?" After about a minute of her going aha, she looks over to the kiosk where the attendant is now glancing from his phone, and up at BK. He then comes over intercom on my pump, loud enough for the whole gas bar, who've been eavesdropping, to hear. EMP, "Excuse me ma'am, how can I be of assistance?" BK, "The pump is broken. Your employee here is refusing to help." EMP, "I apologize for the pump ma'am, and as my manager tried to tell you already, this man is not one of our employees. You can pay here at the kiosk." BK looked at me, still holding her phone. I shrugged and got in my truck and left. In retrospect, I should have pushed the call button on my own pump, and told them that BK needed help, but I was still trying to figure the situation out. The next story is titled, "An Evening Trip to Walmart." A little backstory to this is that it was probably around 11 p.m. or so. I had gone out on a first date with someone and it went poorly. So this resulted in me being in a sour but internal mood, and me wearing somewhat nice looking clothes in a Walmart. I live alone in a cabin and it's about 30 miles into the city, so when I do my Walmart shopping, I make the trip last. The price I pay is usually a cart overflowing with groceries, cleaning stuff, HBA products, all that. So because I'm near the tail end, I'm heading the frozen section. I've got my earbuds in because I'm in my own world of disappointment from the earlier proceedings. I'm wearing some nice black slacks and a rather cute, flowery blouse. When behind me came trudging what was not a Karen, but what could only be described as Agnes, Queen of the Karens. Looking like a full-on people of Walmart in torn sweatpants. I don't get a tap on the shoulder, but 2 fingers shoved into my shoulder. Now another thing to note about me is I'm legally disabled. I have never worked retail personally, but I've dated people and I know the game. I'm also not submissive or broken like retail has done so many people, so while I was not immediately hostile to her, I wasn't taking BS. AM, is there a problem? CH, yeah, one of the employees was rude to me. AM, yeah, not my problem. I don't really care. CH, you can do your go backs later. You're the manager, deal with it. AM, I'm not in charge of anyone. I turn around to walk away. CH, don't ducking lie to me. I'm sick of you people lying to me. It was at this point that CH did not grab my arm, she did not push me again, or anything quite so distasteful. This lady reached over and grabbed me by my hair. Now I have some pretty long hair, so I was able to turn around and look at this snarling raccoon of a woman that had a death grip on my hair. I don't know what she was going to say next because it turned into a scream. Going mostly on instinct, my hand went into my pocket and pulled out my blackjack, legally owned in this state by the way, and I brought it down right into the inside of her elbow. There was some screaming and people running over, but in all honesty my blood was thrumming in my ears too loudly to hear. After a manager, loss prevention, and a few dozen other people came over, I ended up in the LP office. A few tape rewinds, police reports, sworn statements later I was asked if I wanted to press charges. No, because A, I might have to come into the city to be a witness, and B, her apparently dislocated elbow seemed to be enough of a lesson for her. I was then also privately asked by the LP officer if next time I wouldn't mind just punching someone in the face like a normal person. They were however nice enough to save my cart for me to pay for before I went home at about 1 AM, and I'll just have to get my frozen stuff from the little grocery store in the small town by me. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.